He's one of Hollywood's most private stars, but behind Keanu Reeves's calm, mysterious exterior is a love life marked by deep connection, quiet heartbreak, and surprising twists. From 80s set romances to rumors that set tabloids on fire, and finally to his low-key relationship with Alexandra Grant, Keanu's dating history is anything but ordinary. So, who has captured the heart of the man behind Neo and John Wick? Let's dive into every known relationship of Keanu Reeves, from 1986 to now. Alexandra Grant, a love that grows stronger with time. In a world where celebrity romances often burn fast and fade out even faster, the relationship between Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant stands out for all the right reasons. Their first professional connection dates back to 2011, when Grant illustrated Reeves's introspective book Ode to Happiness, a playful guide to overcoming sorrow through poetic text and visuals. The project started as a personal gift from Grant to Reeves, but was so well received by friends that it was eventually published. "All our friends sitting in the room got the giggles when I gave it to him. They said, 'Please publish it,'" Grant told Vogue in 2020. That unexpected moment of joy sparked a series of creative ventures together. In 2016, they released a second book, Shadows, which featured Grant's photographs of Reeves paired with his contemplative prose. That same year, they appeared together at several art and publishing events, slowly building a presence in each other's lives that extended beyond work. Then, in 2017, the two co-founded Ex-Artists Books, a publishing house dedicated to artist-centered, high-quality editions that don't fit into traditional genres. Despite working closely for years, it wasn't until late 2019 that Reeves and Grant went public with their relationship. Their hand-in-hand appearance at the LACMA Art Plus Film Gala immediately caught global attention. While some were surprised to see Reeves dating a woman closer to his age, he was 55, she was 46. Others were thrilled to see him radiating happiness. A source told People, "They started dating earlier this year but have wanted to keep it quiet. Keanu is extremely happy and grateful to have Alex in his life." Since then, the couple has been spotted enjoying low-key but intimate outings, strolling through New York's Fifth Avenue, attending art galas, holding hands at London lunches, and sharing quiet kisses on red carpets. Far from Hollywood excess, their public moments are marked by subtlety and comfort. In interviews, both have acknowledged how their relationship balances independence with emotional closeness. "The good news about falling in love as an adult," Grant explained to People, "is that I had built my own career by the time that my relationship had begun. I feel confident in the relationship on the red carpet. I feel confident on it alone." She emphasized that their love is both interdependent and independent in the best ways. Their mutual admiration is clear. Reeves has called Grant the more creative partner, and Grant has spoken about how Keanu inspires her with his kindness, dedication, and ability to work through challenges. "What I love about Keanu and our exchange is that we're pushing each other to build new roads," she said. "Seeing the other person's problem-solving is inspiring. Even their everyday interactions are rooted in deep affection." In a 2023 interview, when asked about the last time he felt blissful, Reeves smiled and replied, "A couple of days ago with my honey, we were in bed. We were connected. We were smiling and laughing and giggling, feeling great. It was just really nice to be together." Though private, their romance continues to be steady and visible. From glamorous events like the Malka Gala and the Hammer Museum Gala to casual nights at Santa Monica restaurants, Reeves and Grant continue to enjoy life side by side. In July 2024, they were even spotted waving the checkered flag at the German Grand Prix, proof that their shared experiences now span far beyond the arts. Alexandra Grant, a Los Angeles-based visual artist and educator, brings her own unique depth to the partnership. She has lived in multiple countries, speaks several languages, and her artwork often explores how language and images shape perception. Her thoughtful and expressive nature seems to match Keanu's own introspective persona. The fact that she's also officiated weddings and supports other artists underscores her warm, community-focused spirit. For Reeves, who has endured a series of personal tragedies, this relationship with Grant appears to be a chapter of healing, growth, and stability. After decades of guarding his private life, he seems ready to share a piece of his happiness with the world, but only on his own terms. They don't need to post selfies or stage headlines to prove their connection. Instead, they show up, authentically, calmly, and consistently. And that's exactly why fans continue to root for them. In a city built on illusions, Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant have quietly built something real. Sandra Bulock, the secret crush that never happened. Or did it? Back in 1994, Speed didn't just launch Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bulock into box office glory. It also ignited decades of rumors about a romance that could have been. Their chemistry on screen was electric, undeniable. But off-screen? Both stayed silent, until decades later when the truth started to trickle out. In a 2018 interview, Bulock finally admitted what fans had long suspected. She had a crush on Keanu while filming. "He was so sweet. He'd hold my dress down during action scenes. How do you not fall for that?" She laughed. The shock came when, a year later, Keanu confessed on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He had feelings for her too. "She obviously didn't know I had a crush on her," he said, stunned by the clip Ellen played of Sandra's revelation. They were both secretly into each other, but neither made a move. It was a classic case of missed timing. "We didn't want to ruin our friendship," Sandra later explained. "If we had dated and broken up, I might have lost someone I deeply respect." Instead, they stayed close, working together again in the lake house and continuing to support each other's careers. Bulock even joked about a Speed 3 comeback. "We could totally do it in wheelchairs if we had to." Despite never dating, their admiration for one another runs deep. Sandra once said, "Keanu's the kind of guy who stays friends with every woman he's ever dated. No one has anything bad to say about him." He, in turn, has called her a wonderful artist and even better human being. Now, nearly 3 decades after their first explosive collaboration, Reeves and Bulock are reuniting once more for an untitled romantic thriller in development. Could this be their on-screen redemption? The project is top secret, but one thing is clear: the magic between them never faded. Charlize Theron, the romance that keeps Hollywood guessing. Of all the relationships in Keanu Reeves's life, none has sparked more speculation and stubborn silence than his bond with Charlize Theron. Their chemistry first ignited in The Devil's Advocate and exploded again in Sweet November, where audiences were captivated by the raw, emotional connection between their characters. Off-screen, fans couldn't help but wonder, was the passion real? Fast forward to May 4th of this year, boom. Cameras catch them leaving Bouchon in Beverly Hills. Charlize wraps her arms tightly around Keanu. They share an intimate goodbye kiss. It wasn't a scene from a movie. It was real life. And yet, once again, no official word. Just another mystery added to the legend. Their story isn't new. Back in 2001, they walked hand in hand at the Golden Globes. In 2020, Theron raised eyebrows again when she posted a throwback photo of the two of them, writing, "I love this handsome human so much. Happy birthday, Keanu. You're just the best." Thousands of comments poured in. "You two need to be a couple." "Atomic Blonde meets John Wick. When?" The internet wanted answers. And Keanu? As always, calm, cool, private. In an older interview, he admitted, "We get along really well. We're friends. But there's something that happens when we act together. It's the oddest thing." He even admitted rewatching The Devil's Advocate and thinking, "That's a great couple. They're roaring hot." Charlize has also stayed cryptic. Known for guarding her personal life, she ended a 6-year relationship in 2010 and hasn't spoken publicly about romance since. Until Keanu. Until that hug. Until that kiss. Still, there's one complication. Alexandra Grant. Reeves went public with the artist in 2019, and the two seem rock solid. So was that May night in Beverly Hills a tender reunion between old friends, or the quiet reveal of something more? Winona Ryder, Hollywood's favorite married but not married pair. For over 3 decades, Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder have shared one of Hollywood's most special and slightly bizarre friendships. It all began in 1988, but things got interesting in 1992 when they filmed Bram Stoker's Dracula and accidentally got married, literally. According to Ryder, director Francis Ford Coppola hired a real Romanian priest to perform the wedding scene, complete with full ceremony. "I think we're technically married," she said. Keanu didn't even know until Ryder reminded him. "We did the whole thing, so yeah, under the eyes of God we are." Since then, the two have kept the joke going. Every year on his birthday, Winona texts, "Happy birthday, husband," to which Keanu replies, "Love you, wife, KR57. In a 2023 podcast, she confirmed, "We still call each other husband and wife." It's adorable, and their bond clearly runs deeper than a typical co-star friendship. They've worked together several times. A Scanner, Darkly, Destination Wedding, and every time, their on-screen chemistry sparks fan excitement. Ryder even said she specifically asked for Keanu to co-star in Destination Wedding, calling him her first choice. But was there ever anything romantic? Not officially. Though both admitted they had a crush on each other during Dracula, they never acted on it. Maybe that's what preserved the magic. Keanu once said, "She's funny, brilliant, has a beautiful heart, and is one of my favorite people to work with." Jennifer Syme, the woman who saved his tragic life. Before Keanu Reeves found stability and quiet joy with artist Alexandra Grant, his life was marked by a heartbreaking romance that continues to haunt those who know his story. In 1998, Reeves began dating Jennifer Syme, a production assistant and aspiring actress. They reportedly met at a party hosted by Keanu's rock band Dog Star, though Jennifer's mother later said they'd known each other for years. At the time, Reeves was riding high from the success of Speed and The Matrix, while Syme was working closely with director David Lynch. Their connection was instant and deep. By early 1999, they were in love, and soon after, expecting a child. Keanu and Jennifer were overjoyed. They had already picked out a name, Ava Archer Syme Reeves. But on December 24, 1999, at 8 months pregnant, Jennifer gave birth to a stillborn baby. The tragedy devastated them. Friends said the emotional toll was unbearable, and just weeks later, the couple broke up, though they remained close and continued to support one another. The heartbreak didn't end there. On April 1, 2001, Jennifer and Keanu had lunch together in San Francisco. Just hours later, she attended a party at Marilyn Manson's home in Los Angeles. Early the next morning, April 2nd, she left her house, reportedly under the influence of alcohol and prescription medication. While driving her Jeep Cherokee, she lost control and crashed into a row of parked cars. Jennifer was ejected from the vehicle and died instantly. She was 28. Reeves was devastated. He reportedly called the coroner's office himself to confirm her identity. At Jennifer's funeral, he served as a pallbearer alongside close friends like Dave Navarro and Scott Coffey. Mourners remembered her with songs like Wind Beneath My Wings and Higher Ground, and Jennifer was buried next to baby Ava in Los Angeles' Westwood Village Memorial Park. Keanu's grief was profound but largely private. He rarely spoke about Jennifer or Ava in public. However, in 2006, he told Parade magazine, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." That line has since become one of the most quoted reflections on his personal pain. He also admitted that the trauma and emotional weight of his losses helped him deeply connect with the role of John Wick, a character who suffers the loss of his wife and spirals into violent revenge. "I thought it was one of the foundations of the role," he said. "I love his grief. I relate to that, and I don't think you ever work through it. Grief and loss don't ever go away." Jennifer's story didn't fade with time. In 2019, Marilyn Manson painted her portrait in a piece titled "A Mother Without a Daughter and a Daughter Without a Mother in Her Memory." David Lynch dedicated his 2001 film Mulholland Drive to her, with a note in the closing credits. For years after her death, Keanu withdrew further from public life. He avoided red carpets, lived modestly, and often seemed like a man walking through life with invisible wounds. When asked in 2017 whether he believed he would ever marry, Reeves said softly, "It's too late. It's over." He had become, in the eyes of many, a symbol of quiet sorrow. Diane Keaton, the 19-year age gap that had Hollywood talking. One of Keanu Reeves's most puzzling and talked-about rumored romances was his connection with Diane Keaton, an accomplished actress nearly 2 decades his senior. The two first shared the screen in the 2003 romantic comedy Something's Gotta Give, where Keaton played a widowed playwright and Reeves her charming young doctor. By mid-2005, tabloids lit up with reports that Reeves, then 40, was dating Keaton, nearly 20 years his senior. This came just months after his brief relationship with Il Mare co-star Lynn Collins had fizzled out. A close friend of Keanu claimed, "He's dating Diane. He admires her deeply. Her independence, intellect, and experience make her incredibly attractive to him." For Keanu, weary from past heartbreaks and personal tragedy, Keaton offered stability and depth. Keaton, an Oscar-winning actress, director, and accomplished photographer, reportedly helped Keanu renovate his $5.5 million Hollywood Hills home. Though known for avoiding long-term commitments, she had publicly expressed surprise at falling in love again. "I thought love wasn't going to happen anymore," she once confessed. For Keanu, who had endured the stillbirth of his daughter in 2000 and the tragic death of her mother, Jennifer Syme, just a year later, the connection with Diane seemed like emotional refuge. Friends noted how different this romance was from his whirlwind with Collins. Unlike the party-loving Lynn, Keaton shared Keanu's passion for books, films, and quiet living. They bonded over shared humor and a love for architecture and design. Still, not everyone was convinced. Keanu's publicist flatly denied the relationship, calling reports false, while Keaton remained silent. But the rumors persisted, especially after the two were spotted spending time together off-set. Lynn Collins, a quiet spark. Behind the scenes of The Lake House. In 2006, Keanu Reeves quietly dated his The Lake House co-star Lynn Collins. The romance reportedly began during filming but was kept tightly under wraps. If there was something going on, they were very discreet, a set insider told the Chicago Sun-Times. Still, once back in Los Angeles, the pair couldn't dodge the paparazzi. Reeves, known for guarding his privacy, was visibly frustrated by the attention, at one point flipping off photographers during a shopping trip with Collins. Despite the media buzz, the two never publicly confirmed their relationship. Keanu was often spotted giving Lynn rides on his motorcycle, showing a softer side rarely seen in public. He once told Cosmo, "If you can make a woman laugh, you're seeing the most beautiful thing on God's earth." Their romance lasted about 7 months before ending quietly in early 2007. No drama, no statements, just another private chapter in Keanu's famously guarded love life. Jill Scholan, young love before the spotlight. Before the fame, there was Jill. Keanu Reeves's very first high-profile romance was with actress Jill Scholan, an 80s scream queen known for her work in horror films. The two met in 1986 on the set of Babes in Toyland, one of Keanu's earliest roles. Sparks flew quickly, and what started as on-screen chemistry turned into a real-life relationship that lasted nearly 3 years. At the time, both were young, ambitious, and at the start of promising careers. Keanu, reserved and introspective, was the opposite of Jill, outgoing, lively, and already gaining traction in Hollywood. But opposites did attract, and for a while, they were inseparable. Friends and insiders recalled seeing them together constantly, enjoying quiet evenings, premieres, and casual outings. For Keanu, who had not yet tasted global stardom, this was a moment of emotional grounding. But the relationship didn't survive the pressure. With conflicting schedules, long filming days, and diverging personalities, the romance began to wear thin. By 1989, the couple quietly called it quits. And Jill? She didn't stay single for long. That same year, she started dating another rising heartthrob, Brad Pitt, after meeting him on the set of Cutting Class. The two quickly got engaged, though it only lasted 3 months. Sophia Copala, from on-set spark to creative reunion. He had a brief but memorable romance with Sophia Copala, the daughter of legendary director Francis Ford Coppola. The two met in the early 90s on the set of Bram Stoker's Dracula, a film directed by Sophia's father. Reeves played Jonathan Harker, while Sophia was beginning to find her voice as a filmmaker. Their connection, however, didn't stay on set. They reportedly dated for a short time before splitting in 1992. Though the romance was brief, their creative chemistry lingered. Fast forward 3 decades, and the former couple just reunited, this time professionally. In 2023, Keanu and Sophia teamed up to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the House of Suntory, a famed Japanese whiskey brand. Sophia directed a dreamy, neon-lit tribute short film starring Reeves, who once appeared in a Suntory ad back in 1992. At the launch event in New York, the two posed together, giving fans a dose of 90s nostalgia and creative synergy. Reeves called working with Sophia and her brother Roman Coppola a really special opportunity, praising their vision and collaborative spirit. The short was just one piece of a larger campaign that includes a docu-series and limited edition whiskeys. Reeves, a longtime fan of Japanese culture, said the shoot, done in Japan, was extraordinary, and spoke of meeting kabuki actors, calligraphists, and master distillers,